Oh, Lord. Let's see here. Let's see here. Well, good morning. It's still just good morning. We're just approaching 10 o'clock. And, well, we sat all weekend without a load. Just spoke to my manager just a little while ago. And hopefully there's a load for me over in Lee, Illinois. That's roughly 380 miles away. Let's see, what does this say here? Well, it says 408. Good morning, sir. Yeah, like I said, we're doing a little few lives here and there. It has been a while. It's been about 2 years. Really haven't done anything on YouTube, but life. So we are in Vandalia, Ohio at the Flying J. I-75 exit 64. We delivered up in Herod, Alger, Ohio on Friday. I went up to Beaver Dam, Ohio, off of US 30 and 75. And I parked there for the night at the Speedway. I came down here Saturday. Here Saturday morning. All day Saturday, Sunday. And now here it is, 10 o'clock. And I'm waiting for the salesman to tell my manager that the load is I can go pick this load up. Unfortunately, like I said, this load is over in Illinois, at Lee, Illinois, which is west of Chicago, near Rochelle, Illinois. So until that comes across my computer, I'm not going to start my day. When that's done, then we'll start our pre-trip inspection. Then we'll, head ourselves over there. But more than likely, I will not be picking up until tomorrow morning at the earliest. What it is, I don't know. Where it's going, I don't know. And that's still, like I said, still dependent upon the salesman saying that it's able to be picked up. Unfortunately, that means another day not making any progress, which kind of sucks. I don't like, one day off a week is more than enough for me. I'm not here for, for the fun of it. I mean, I enjoy the job, but I'm not here for the fun of it. I'm not here for, as a hobby. It's work. So, the more I work, the happier I'm going to be. So like I said, we got our first load with this RGN trailer. We got that assigned on Wednesday last week. You need to slow down there, knucklehead. God. We made it down to Story City, Iowa from Grand Meadow, Minnesota, company headquarters. Thursday morning I picked up in Altoona, Illinois, Iowa. Now right there, right near Des Moines. We delivered it Friday here in Harrod, Ohio. No real issues, no real problems, so bing bang straight on through. Now, like I said, we got done Friday. I mean, I was hoping to have another load on Friday, but, or at least have an idea which way to go. I mean, I did get shopping done on Saturday. I've ripped all but one pair of my pants. So, I stopped by the Walmart. I bought 5 pair of pants, 2 kind of khaki brown, desert tan kind of cargo pants. Got 2 small pockets on the left side, on my right side. I got 1 large pocket on my left side. Easy in pockets, up top. Both of those 3 pockets are further down on the neck, right above the knee. Big pockets in front, flapped pockets on the rear. Nice wide loops. I mean, I'm happy with them. They fit pretty well. They move pretty easily. They're pretty comfortable. They're not anything other than pants. So I'm not going to flip out about them. Like, oh my God, the greatest thing since sliced bread. But they're not too bad. I mean, $24 for the cargo pants, and I got 3 pair of Wrangler denims, straight legs. Those were like $15 each, so not too bad. you know, a little bit of cleaning stuff, a little bit of, you know, a little bit of food. Now I didn't need a lot to make up for what I've eaten out already from the refrigerator. You know, I only got a couple of, I only got like 2 eggs left. But I got a lot of good other stuff, so I don't really need to do any real more shopping. We should be good for that. Like I said, now we are just more and more waiting, you know, so here it is, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Basically 410 miles, 408 miles over to Rochelle. Now that we are empty, we're not going to be stuck at 55 miles an hour here in Ohio on a permit. So we're going to head just south. We're going to go on I-75 here, head south just a tiny, tiny bit. That'll put us on I-70, you know, right there at Dayton, Ohio. Then we'll head westbound over to Indiana, get around in the top of Indianapolis. We're going to stop at the Pilot Flying J there in Lebanon, which is, as of right the moment, the cheapest fuel along the way, because most of it is $3.99, $3.89, $4.29, $4.09, whatnot. And the Lebanon Pilot Flying J has for $3.79, $3.80, which is the cheapest, you know, along the route. So I'm sitting at half a tank of fuel, a little over 5/8. (7/16) tank of DEF, so we're good for that. I was able to pick up some Rain-X washer fluid, because like I said, I was at the Walmart, picked up 2 gallons of that. Get that stupid weak old blue Kool-Aid that does really nothing to help break up anything. I mean, washer fluid really doesn't do a whole lot when you're flying down the road, and it sits on there for not even half a second. You know, it's like, come on. How's it supposed to really, you know, break anything up that's stuck on the windshield, and then your wipers go off? I mean, so, you know, that's low, that's high. You know, then of course I got all my intermittents, but that's the pace when you have the fluid coming out. I mean, and when you got the wind blowing on it as well, doesn't really do much. So at least with the Rain-X, I'll get some kind of, you know, benefit out of it instead of just plain old washer fluid. But, like I said, I did a little bit of cleaning, a bit of organizing. Had a bit of ham in the refrigerator that didn't get eaten as fast as it should have. So I threw that out. A little bit of lettuce was in there. I throw that out. I bought a brand new head of lettuce, so, you know, not too bad. I had a salad yesterday for lunch. No Pepsi at all yesterday, so I got to get back in the groove of that. Water, Powerade Zero, so, you know, got to get back in the groove of, you know, cutting out the sugar and the carbohydrates. and that's also going along with running an RGN, so it's a little bit more work physically. Not that it's a whole heck of a lot of work. I mean, it's not. Yes, I have to maneuver back and forth to the truck cab, break apart the trailer, move some heavy wood, but really it's not that much work. But it's more than what I was with the step deck trailer. Throwing the chains, throwing straps, climbing up and down on the equipment, moving the equipment around. It's a little bit of work, but not terribly a lot. I mean, compared to being being a landscaper or an arborist, it really isn't a whole heck of a lot. Really isn't. But like I said, now we are just waiting for that signal to come through the computer. And then we will roll. We basically got, 3/4 of a day. I got a Love's, I got a Petro, and I got a Pilot Flying J there in Rochelle. So, I mean, the sooner I get there, the better, so I can get some decent parking. We will go back, we will gain an hour on the day because we're going to enter Central Time once we cross from Indiana into Illinois. So that'll help us a little bit, but it's all still contingent upon, getting the information. And I wish I had a little bit more sunshine here, but it's cloudy again. There was a big blob of rain to my south here. I mean, basically, I'm facing east right now. Not that you can really tell, but I am. So we're looking around basically 77 degrees right now on the compass. Exciting, so much excitement going on, ridiculous. So like I said, I'm supposed to head over to Lee, Indiana, or Illinois. Right off of I-88, I-39. Shabona is to the southeast. Lee's a small little town. So I guess I'm going to pick up a used piece of equipment. What that's going to be, I don't know. mean, there is a... So you got Mendota to the south on I-39. Which that's a little bit... There's a road ranger there at Mendota. There's Beck's I-39. I mean, I could park there. Like I said, I got a Love's, I got a Petro, I got a Pilot. I got two Pilots there at Mendota at Rochelle. What exit is that? That's exit 99. The Love's is off of I-88. But until we actually get the information coming across the computer, it makes no sense to even think about going anywhere.
Through routing for trucks is prohibited or not advised.
Blah, 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 blah. There we go. So like I said, we're more likely we're not going to be able to pick up today. And like I said, right now that's all the information that I have. So we got, let's see what this says, radar review. Basically 382 miles of deadhead. Now I get paid for the deadhead miles, so it doesn't really, in one way it doesn't really hurt me. But if I had this load assigned Friday, I would have used them. I would have used, a good chunk of those miles. Almost a third of those miles, at least a third, on Saturday. I would have done a lot more on Saturday. Because if I had to sit around all Sunday anyway, I still would have gotten a 34-hour reset done. So I could have gotten over into Illinois. Not that's a desirable place for me to be, but at least I'd have been right where I needed to be. That's, and that probably more than anything else. I mean, I know waiting has to happen. I know sometimes the receiver's not ready, the crane's not there, they're closed for the weekend or blah blah blah. They got a repair to do, whatever. All that's going to happen. But whenever possible, as much, lead information up front that I can get, the better. Because that just makes my job a little bit easier. Okay, I'm going to get to location X at 1:45 approximately. Pickup Y is 280 miles over here that I can pick up the next day. It only takes me it's not going to take me even a full hour to get unloaded and get the trailer rehooked up and all the paperwork done. You know, and everything put into the computer that needs to be into the GPS needs to be in there. You know, I can at least make it down the road at least halfway. You know, it's like I said, if I just had that, so I'm just a little bit closer, that saves me time, that saves me energy, saves me aggravation. So whenever possible, I like having the next load ready to go, you know, before I'm done with the load that I'm on. I mean, because, you know, every time I can finish a load and I can at least make another 100 miles or so closer at the end of the day, the start of the next day is a lot easier, you know. I mean, because breaking apart this RGN trailer, not even a full 10 minutes. Doesn't even take 10 minutes to do that. Hooking back up doesn't take that long. You know, you pull your trailer brakes, you get out, you pull your fifth wheel, you pull your fifth wheel pin, you get in, you lower your airbags. You get back in the truck. Well, you get back in the truck, you lower your airbags, you disconnect from you unhook your air line and your electrical line, you pull away from the trailer. You get back out, you unhook your air lines and electrical lines on the trailer, you take off your shackles, you take off your dog bones, you get back in the truck, you back under the trailer, you put your neck board in, you pull your stinger pin, and you pull the hat or the top deck away from the trailer. You pull it forward enough so all the equipment that you're going to put on has room to maneuver. Get that on there. You back the trailer back up. You pull the release pin so that it'll automatically engage. You fully engage with the truck, with the trailer. You lower your airbags. You take your neck board out. You pull your fifth wheel pin. You pull forward, separating yourself from the trailer entirely. You get out. You make sure that the neck is fully seated on the deck of the trailer. Connect your air lines. Connect your electrical line. You put your dog bones back into place. You put your shackles back on. You check that your stinger pin is fully engaged. You back on the trailer. You raise your airbags, and bam! You connect the truck to the trailer for your air lines and your power line. You're ready to go. Now all you got to do is you got to put all your securement on. If you're oversized, you got to put on your flags, your banners, your lights. Make sure you have your permits printed out. You set your route I set all my waypoints in the hello there. How y'all doing? We're doing good. Hello, Renee. How you doing? So, like I said, it doesn't take a lot to do this job. And I've said it before. All in all, truck driving, doing the flatbed, doing this construction equipment, doing the farm equipment, doing these big pieces of equipment around, this is the easiest job I've ever had in my life. Being a warehouseman was physically harder. Being an arborist, being a landscaper, being a pesticide applicator, running a spray crew, being an office manager, working at Pizza Hut, being a barbecue, carver. Most of those other jobs were actually harder than this job is. Being a truck driver, everybody wants to complain, oh, it's so tough on the road. It's not. It's only tough because you make it tough. For me, this is the easiest job I've ever had. Oh, I have to do some physical work. I have to do some thinking. But all in all, I mean, it isn't a hard job at all. I mean, the toughest and hardest part about this job is sitting around waiting. Now, my wife doesn't like me complaining about the waiting. But, as a man, as a husband, I'm supposed to work. That's how a man's supposed to be. Shut up, you do your job, you work. You work as hard as you can, as long as you can, doing what you're supposed to do to take care of your responsibilities. And I'd rather be doing that than sitting around twiddling my thumbs. It's just... So as soon as we can, we're going to, we'll get our day started. Like I said, we're still waiting for the information to come across the computer. Then we'll head out to Rochelle. Like I said, we got 2 pilots. We got a Petro and a Loves over there. So we should have somewhat decent parking. There's a rest area, a little bit southwest of Lee. There's 2 truck stops down there in Mendota. Depending on when this information comes across, how long it takes me to get past Dayton, get past Indianapolis, through Champaign, and then north. We'll see. And then I should have all the specifications for, for what I'm picking up, where in Lee, Illinois, and then where it's going to, which will determine whether I need permits or not. And that'll give me the night to, to get everything else that I can get set up. We'll make arrangements to make the pickup as early in the morning tomorrow as possible. And then when we get there, we'll get loaded. Then I can measure my load to make sure, what I need as far as permits. Because if we're taller than normal, if we're wider than normal, if we're heavier than normal, we'll have to have permits in some of the states, because some states I have some permits that cover certain dimensions. Like I said, length, width, height, and weight. Those are the 4 dimensions that I have to worry about. So the standard height, pretty much everywhere in the United States, some states are a little bit taller, but for the most part, your standard vehicle, standard truck, is 13 feet 6 inches. Car haulers most times are rated to 14 foot in most states, or a little bit taller, but those are kind of an exception. I have permits in several states. Some of them have legal height, some of them have, above legal height that I can just get in and go. Most of my annual permits do not have anything for being overweight above 80,000 pounds. So good day from South Africa. I think you're our first Afrikaner who's ever come into the live stream. Thank you for joining me. We are currently in Vandalia, Ohio. Vandalia, Vandalia, Ohio. I-75, exit 64. We are at the Flying J truck stop. Look at that. Well, that's a nice little flat top there. He's got a bunch of trees on there, a bunch of pine trees. There we go. You don't see a load like that too often on a truck, but like I said, hopefully, like I said, here it is now, 10:30. We got roughly a 6-hour journey, or 6.5. Let's see, route overview. Yeah, a little over 6.5 hours. Given the construction that's along the way, given that we're going to stop in Lebanon, Indiana. Let's see, that's I-65, exit 139, northwest of Indianapolis. Well, Captain Smoke, thank you. I mean, it definitely is I watch a lot of channels from around the world. Korean. Oh, I see. There's a couple of Korean truckers that I have on my YouTube subscription. England, Poland. I think there's a couple from Germany. Canada, United States, Australia. I think there's one gentleman that I have or a couple people from New Zealand, and seeing how they do things in different countries. It's always instructive. It really is. There's one who was in Europe. I believe it was an English driver. He went over Mont Blanc from France into Italy, and then it was going through some of these little tiny Italian villages. I'm surprised that even as small as his truck was, he was making it through these little tiny villages. I mean, this truck definitely couldn't do it. Hey, this truck definitely could not do it. Let's see. Let's take a, let's show you the truck here. All right. So we are driving a Peterbilt 389. This is a 2022 truck. Manufactured August of 2021. So a 2022 model. Let's take it. Apologize for the garbage. But there's the truck. Peterbilt 389. Diesel exhaust fluid. Diesel. Little side box with some junk in it. I need to clear that out to make use. Got a headache rack with tools, chains, binders, straps, other tools. And here's our trailer. Like I said, remove. So right here is where this part breaks apart from the deck. So those right there, they're called dog bones. And there's little shackles up top to lock them in. Airlines, we got to break those apart. So this part here will separate from the deck. So I put big equipment on here. We got wood. You know, these are for loading up combines and, you know, big pieces of equipment like that. Blocking wood. Wood here, wood planks for our outriggers. So these will come out just like that. And I got we got a whole row of them on both sides, so we'll expand that out another half a meter on each side. Now my hands are dirty. Ugh. Oh well, I'll survive. Then of course, you know, we got dual wheels back here, tandem wheels back here. Carry a spare with me. And I can raise and lower this a bit if need be. So like I said, we'll put bulldozers, tractors, sprayers, combines, scrapers, excavators, all kinds of good stuff on there. And that's the company I work at, right there. All right, get back up in there. There we go. And like I said, you know, we do what we can. Oh yeah. Well, like I said, you know, it's an easy job. The more I can, as long as I keep learning, as long as I keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing correctly, should be no issues. So here it is. You know, the earliest I'm going to be able to leave here now is going to be 11 o'clock Eastern time. So that's 10 o'clock Central. So I'm not going to get over to Rochelle at the earliest around 4:30 p.m. So I'm definitely not picking up today. I mean, I should have heard something already, you know, but I'm not going to start my hours of service clock until I actually hear. No sense in doing that. But overall, you know, it's just a job. I've done many different types of jobs in my short 52 years of life. So I said I was an arborist, a landscaper, pesticide applicator for roughly 30 years. You know, I've been an office manager. I've been a shift manager. I've worked in restaurants. I've worked in retail. You know, I past 7 years been driving a truck. Going on 7 years here. So, you know, it's just, I enjoy it. And we are prospering by it. So that's the big thing. Well, unfortunately, truck drivers are like fishermen. Fishermen, lawyers, politicians, and truck drivers, you know, too many of them have zero problem lying and embellishing, and you know, I did this load and it weighed 40 trillion, you know, kilograms, and you know, I drove a load of pineapples to the moon, you know. I've heard so many stupid stories, it's ridiculous, you know. Yeah, I hauled the space shuttle. Like, please. You know, I had a load of ice cream in an unrefrigerated truck that I drove from, you know, Anchorage, Alaska down to Tierra del Fuego. And I did it in 4 hours and 33 minutes, and I only lost one chocolate-covered ice cream bar. You know, all kinds of stupid stuff, you know. It's not that exciting a job. I know, especially, you know, the past year and a half, 2 years. Oh, you guys are heroes. You're keeping America running, and you're keeping the country running. It's like, please. I'm just a monkey behind the wheel. I'm a trained monkey, but that's really all I am. I mean, it's like, it's not that difficult a job. What gets me is that far too many of the people being truck drivers just can't seem to do it with any level of skill or professionalism. I mean, that's, you know, far too many. They're just like everybody else in the world. Far too many have bad attitudes. Far too many are arrogant, conceited, rude, insufferable, foul-mouthed, selfish, lazy. You know, just, they're not the kind of people you want to be around at all. You know, I just try to go about my life, even as a truck driver. Just be courteous. Just be civil. Just have some manners and some etiquette about you. I don't need anything else from you. You do those things, and there's going to be no problems. I mean, unfortunately, you know, too many of these truck drivers out here, they're trying to be tough guys. Oh, look at me. I drive a big old truck. I'm a tough guy. No, you're not. Hey. I don't know. Unfortunately, I've seen some stupid stuff going on in the truck stops on the highway. And all I do is just shake my head and go, it's a shame people feel the need to act that way. I digress. Like I said, so, tentatively, we got about a 400-mile drive over to Rochelle, Illinois. We got about 136 miles from here, Vandalia, Ohio, to Lebanon, Indiana. We're going to stop there. We're going to top up our diesel and our diesel exhaust fluid. Then we'll proceed on to Rochelle. That's where I would like to get to, but we'll see. And then in the morning, whatever we're picking up, we'll get the trailer broken apart, we'll get it loaded, put the trailer back together, secure it. If it's oversized, we'll get our permits. We'll get our flags, banners, and lights all set. Then we'll, boogie on down the road, as they like to say. Hopefully it's going to be a nice, 1,800, 2,000 mile run. We'll see. The longer the better, of course. We'll do our best to try to average at least 600 miles a day. That's depending upon the road conditions, the curfews along the highway, the roads we got to take, the parameters set forth on the permits, how fast we can go, where we have to go, what we have to wait for. We'll see. Run down to Miami. That's around 1,500 miles, I think. 1,200 to 1,500, around there. A run out to Tacoma, Washington. That's approaching little over 2,000 miles. I prefer not going to California, but we do what we got to do. Texas is not that far away. Northern Maine ain't that far away. That's about as far away as Miami is. But we will see. We'll see, as long as we can go at the top speed we're allowed to go. We don't have a lot of slowdowns. We don't have a lot of curfew times. Hopefully we can make it work. And then we can pick up the next one and just keep doing that. Drop off, pick up, drop off, pick up, drop off, pick up. We only got one load done last week. And then we bobtailed back. We came down here. It's the nature of trucking. You know, it's not exactly high excitement. But you really don't want excitement in trucking anyway, because when things are exciting, things break. People get hurt when the things are exciting. So that's about it. That's about the long and short of it, as it were. I was hoping to do a little bit of driving for the camera, but So now we just wait, and hopefully I can get out of here. Like I said, it's already 11 o'clock. You know, that's just going to shorten up my where I can find a place to park. So that's going to shorten my distance. The only way I can make it so it's, you know, not going to be an issue is getting a load, being able to park at my shipper. I mean, it's in the country, so that might not be an issue, but we'll find out. If I can park there overnight, excellent. I'll stop somewhere, get a nice large cup of ice, and you know, that'll tide me over until the morning. But other than that, that's about all we got. So until later, God bless, stay safe, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good one.